In this video, I'm going to show you how I recreated this iconic Kim Kardashian look using only Dior makeup. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is where you'll find everything beauty related, from tutorials to product reviews. Also, just a quick thank you for all the love and support you guys have shown me on my YouTube journey so far. I really appreciate it. As always, if you liked my video, then give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button so that you never miss a video. You can also find me on Instagram, where you can follow me for daily beauty news and PR unboxing, which you'll find on my stories. So as a professional makeup artist, I've always used and kept a mixture of brands in my kit. However, I do have clients who favor just specific brands, and sometimes that's meant that I've had to create an entire look using only one brand. But on the other hand, I've got clients who believe that not every product within one brand is great. So I want to show you today how you can still create an iconic celebrity look or a red carpet look using only one brand, as long as you get the technique right. So I decided to create the Kim Kardashian iconic blue smoky look using only Dior products. And now I'm going to show you how. I'm going to start with exfoliating my lips, and I'm using the Dior Lip Sugar Scrub. And if you haven't used this yet, then you're missing out. This is one of the best lip scrubs around because it's just mess free. So it has these little exfoliating beads on there that dissolve on your lips, so you don't have to kind of worry about all those little bits, you know, from usual lip scrubs that you find that half of it is left in my mouth. So it's just not really easy to use those kind of scrubs. So this is really good because it's a balm as well. Now next I'm going to move on to my concealer. So that's going to get to work. We've got my Dior Skin Forever Undercover Concealer, and this is quite an underrated concealer, I find. So I'm going to just apply this just a few stripes here because we want a nice clean base for the eyeshadow application. I'm just going to buff this in with my blender. This concealer is actually a really nice buildable concealer. I'm going to now set this with my Dior Forever Cushion Loose Powder. And I love this powder because, well, one, I mean, how nice does it look? This is something you just want to keep in your bag. It looks so good. So I'm just going to get the powder puff, and I'm going to just set my eye area. So I'm literally just pressing the powder on top. You can see how it just kind of melts into the skin really easily. And that is more or less set. So now we can move on to the eyeshadow. I'm using the Backstage Custom Eye Palette, and I'm starting with this primer here. It's like a cream texture, and I'm just applying a small amount to my finger and just going to press that very lightly on the lid. So there's not actually much color to this. It just leaves a slightly kind of lighter finish to the lid. But all this is going to do is help to kind of help the pigment from the eyeshadow palette really pop, because obviously we're going for that really bold eye and I want the pigment to really come out. So I'm going to use this primer to help do that. And to be fair, I haven't ever used that primer before, so I'm just hoping it works. I'm going to use the eyeshadow palette in Denim. This is a gorgeous palette. I'm using this shade here. So it's the darkest of the 4 blue shades. And even though it looks quite dark there, it actually gives that really nice kind of midnight blue metallic feel that comes through. I'm going to just apply it onto my finger because I want to get that base. Look, the pigment is really good. Now I'm going to apply it with my finger over the lid, but I'm going to buff it in with a brush afterwards, so don't worry about the shape. All I'm doing is kind of covering as much of the lid as I can, and then I'll start blending the crease area. This is such a nice color. And you know what? I love that there isn't much fallout. You get really great pigment without fallout. And I usually do my eyes first if I'm doing a bold look like this, because you know, you get a lot of eyeshadow falling on the under eye area. So I'm really surprised at how the pigment is just staying where it's meant to be. I've only ever swatched these colors. I've not ever used this palette before on my eyes, so I was just I mean, based on that, I thought the pigment's gonna be really good anyway. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So we're gonna move over to the other eye. Okay, I'm really happy with that pigment. Now I'm going to start blending it into the socket line and just bring it into the inner corner and outer corner. Now with this look, I have slightly semi-hooded lids, so I really want to kind of lift this area. It's up to you what direction you take it. I mean, personally, I would never go, you know, low, but obviously you can go straight out there or you can go a little bit higher, but I'm going to take it a little bit higher. I'm just going in with a dome shaped brush and I'm just going to take this product very lightly into the socket area. Now you want to be careful with this because if you go too far up, this isn't the kind of color which is easy to correct. So you can see how now this is so different compared to this one. So now we've kind of like faded those edges. Now I still want to really fade them a little bit more because I just want it to look like it fades into the skin. And I want to just probably give it a bit more pigment after, but I'm just going to focus on the blending at the moment. So all I'm doing is very slowly, I'm not going all out, very slowly kind of like just buffing those edges, and I'm just going side to side. Now this brush when I went in had no product on there, so all I've been doing is just spreading the colour that's already there. And if you haven't already heard me say this, one of the things that I always teach my students when I'm teaching my makeup courses is that you keep two brushes when it comes to like your eyeshadow application and blending. One brush is for application, the other brush is for blending. It will make your life so much easier because you have one brush which is going to obviously apply the product, and then you have another brush which doesn't have any product on it. It's just a clean brush, and that's purely for blending. Because the type of brush that you need for application is very different to the type of brush you would use for blending. Okay, so I'm happy with this so far. So now I'm going to move on to the other eye. And I'm just dragging the colour up into the socket. I'm just going in with another eyeshadow brush. You can use any soft eyeshadow brush. There's nothing on the brush. I'm just kind of buffing the edges. And all it is my aim right now is I'm touching the edges of where the eyeshadow is, and my aim is to just diffuse that color a bit. So I'm kind of picking up the excess color with this brush because I just don't want it to look so harsh. Now I'm going to use a black shade, and I'm using the black from the custom eye palette, and I'm using a kind of small shader brush. So I'm just going to start patting that into the lash line because I want that to be a little bit darker. We're almost creating like a liner look with this brush. So rather than kind of painting it on because it's an eyeshadow, we're pressing it in. So all I'm doing is just pressing it in here and creating that nice thick liner look with a slight wing, which we're going to buff out shortly. Okay, I think we've got that kind of shape that we want. I'm going to do that on the other side. So you can see I didn't even brush it long at any point. I'm still just pressing it in. I'm using a small slanted liner brush. You can use any kind of eyeliner brush. So what I'm doing is just dipping that into the black eyeshadow, and I'm just kind of taking out this wing a little bit further. So very small movements. So now that my liner is done and I'm happy with the angle and the direction of it, I want to take out that blue eyeshadow a little bit. So I'm going in with a smaller dome brush, and all I'm doing is above that eyeliner, I'm just dragging out this colour a little bit more. There you go. It's really as simple as that. You can just very lightly drag it out. And I'm happy with that now because I feel like it's kind of all blending together really nicely rather than the wing looking disconnected. We're going to do the same on the other side. Now I'm going to go in with the Dior Show 24-Hour Stylo pencil in black, and this is a waterproof pencil, and I'm just applying this on my waterline. So I'm going to apply this just at the top waterline and also the bottom waterline. God, I don't usually apply black eyeliner on the inside, so I used to, but I haven't done it for a long time. Okay, so now that we're done, we're going to move on to my base, and I'm going to finish off my eyes after I've finished my base, and I'll explain why later. I'm going in with my concealer. It's the same one that I used on my lids. And I'm just gonna conceal my under eyes first. I'm gonna apply the concealer everywhere I feel I need it, which is a lot today. So around here, because I just feel like it's a bit dark around this area. I'm just going to buff this in with my sponge. So our concealer's done. We're going to move on to the foundation, and I'm using the Dior Forever foundation. I think one pump is enough, to be honest. Actually, no, you need 2 pumps of this. So I'm going to go in with my sponge just to kind of buff this into the face. If you want extra coverage, I'd say that the star product is the concealer for sure. The concealer's excellent. It's creamy, it's thick enough, and you get great coverage. So this is a little trick I'm going to show you. The next step would usually be setting your foundation, but I'm going to show you how you can get that really nice seamless eyeshadow on the under eye area. So on your lower lash line, we're going to add the eyeshadow first. So it's the first layer, and then we're going to set the foundation. So I'm going to show you how it blends in so nicely with the foundation still kind of tacky. So all I'm doing is taking my eyeshadow and I'm just gonna go side to side. Now you've got to be careful that you don't drop any because obviously your foundation isn't set yet. But saying that, this eyeshadow doesn't have any fallout, so it's pretty good. Now just very lightly I've applied it on my lower lashes. I'm not too fussed about it being blended yet. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other eye. I'm going to go back in with my Dior Forever Cushion Loose Powder. I'm using the powder puff that comes with it. I'm just pressing it into the under eye area first. Just getting a brush with a little bit of powder in there, just to set this under eye area. I'm literally just saying my whole face now. Just going to dust away that powder. Before I continue, I'm going to put some Dior Lip Maximizer on, and if you've been watching my previous videos, you know how much I love this product. I literally put this on every day. I love it. So I put it on a lot earlier than when I'm actually going to do my lips, because I want it to get to work, because it's really plumping, helps to hydrate the lips, and it actually looks really good on its own as well, just with a little bit of lip liner. So next I'm going to move on to my eyebrows, and I'm using the Dior Show Kabuki Brow Styler. And I actually really like this one because it has, rather than the kind of spoolie at the end, it has a little brush, and it's so soft. And not only is it good to kind of brush the brows up, but it's really great if you want to blend or buff in the pencil that you've just applied. I'm going to use the Dior Pump and Brow, which is just like a tinted gel. And it's just going to help to lighten my brows a little bit, because I don't like them to look so dark. I'm going to finish my eye area, so I'm just going to use a kind of flat shader brush and a very small amount of the eyeshadow, and just kind of buff it into the lower area. Just make sure it's all nicely blended in. I just want my lower lashes to look a little bit darker. So I'm going to apply some of that black eyeshadow with the same shader brush that I used earlier, and just kind of buff it into my lower lashes so that it gives it more of a gradient effect. There, that's much better. I feel like these little things just make such a difference. I was feeling like my lower lashes, like the waterline was looking quite disconnected from the rest of my lower eyeshadow. I'm going to use my mascara. I'm using the Dior Show Iconic Overcurl Mascara, and I'm just going to apply this to my upper and lower lashes. I'm going to use my Dior Forever Natural Bronzer, and again, the packaging is so nice. That quilted finish is just so pretty. So I'm going to just start sculpting my cheekbones. Now, when I have a look like this, which is quite overpowering, like it's not overpowering, but just bold, you know, like bold eyes, then I don't really like wearing blush, because I feel like there's just going to be too much colour going on. So I like to stick with bronzer. All I've done is started from the top of the ear and worked my way in. So now I'm going to move on to sculpting my nose, and I'm using the Dior Contour Palette, and using this one here. I'm going to use the kind of medium brown there, that one there. I'm going to use that. And all I'm doing is just slimming down the tip of my nose. I'm going to use the Dior Glow Face Palette. I'm going to use this shade here. I think that's a really nice shade. All I'm doing is just applying a small amount of this to the tip of my nose. I'm using the Dior Lip Contour in Nude, and all I'm going to do is just create feather strokes. I don't want to create an obvious lip line, so I'm just going to shade in my lips. Now I'm going to use the Dior lipstick in Nude. This is the matte colour. is a really nice shade. I've only put a small amount in because I actually quite like that lip line, the lip liner colour, so I'm just going to blend it all together. And we are done. Well, I really enjoyed creating this look, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching and learning my techniques. And I hope this shows you that you can still create an iconic or celebrity look using only single brand products. As mentioned earlier, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.